On September 1st, 2012, Lordi commenced recording of their 6th studio album. This album featured 2 new members, Mana for the drums and Hella on the keyboard. Much like Lordi's previous album, this album was also recorded in Nashville at Wire World. This time, Michael Wagner produced and mixed the album. Lordi released the first single for their new album, The Riff, digitally on February 8, 2013. Following the single's release, the band competed in the Walk WM contest in Germany. The new album, To Beast or Not to Beast, was released on March 1, 2013. The band embarked on a European tour in April of 2013, which included a concert in Japan. The recording of Lordi's 7th studio album began on the 2nd of June at Finland's Finnvox Studios, where the band worked with producer Mikko Karmela. The band relocated to a secluded location in Lapland in July to continue working on the album. On June 28th, Lordi opened his first official exhibition in Finland. The other side of Lordi showed off his old costumes and props, including some of his album cover art, which he painted himself.
So after a few years, it was sort of the longest cycle between albums, but the band had to go through they went through a lot of radical changes. They lost 2 of their members. They lost their drummer and their keyboardist, so they had to find new people there. And also they were having issues with their record companies, and so they had to switch different record labels and trying to make a success, because otherwise they were going to go... There's a documentary on it, even though the documentary has been now frowned upon and sort of has been sort of like hated on by the band. They don't necessarily like the documentary, but it does give insight on how the band was doing at the time. This is To Beast or Not to Beast, and this one came out in 2013, and again, not one of my favorite albums. It definitely brought back a hard edge to the songs, but it sort of still felt kind of, I don't know, it still fell flat for me. There are still really great songs on this album, don't get me wrong. It still is a banger to listen to, but it just seemed to, I don't know, there was just something about it. And I think it's also in fact due to the fact that when you look at the band, they have changed. When you look at the band, you see that they have changed their lineup. They now have 2 new members, Hella and Mana. Now I gotta say, guys, when this album first came out and they first revealed about these 2 new characters in the band, I was not a fan of them. I was not a fan. You can see here, there's Hella and there's Mana. And to be honest, for me, they had major shoes to fill. I wasn't impressed. And unfortunately with Hella, I love Hella now though, for just so you guys know, for the record. Hella now is so much better than what she was in here, because this album doesn't really allow you to hear her keyboard parts that well. She's very muted in the mix. And Mana, to be honest guys, even till today, I'm still not a fan of him. He is a great drummer, don't get me wrong. Mana is amazing on the drums. If you guys seen him live, I've seen him live. And I forgot to mention, actually, I saw Lordi live the first time during the Dead Ache cycle. That was 2008. I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention that. But I did manage to see them again later on. I'll talk about that when we get there. But Mana, he's great. The character, I think, I just never resonated with. I think he's like some sort of dead priest, I think. I really have no idea. He's still a really funny guy, especially when you watch interviews with him and Lordi together. They're really funny together. They really do play off well with each other, and I'm glad that they work well with the band. But just not a fan of the character himself. But in terms of the music quality, it's not that bad. It just still feels a little muted. Oh God, we're playing that. We're playing this song. Kids, avert your eyes. I'll talk about this one later. So I want to mention also again, the cover art. It's not the band. It should have been this as the cover, but no, we have again this over-sexualization nature going on. And I get it, To Beast or Not to Beast, you know, the skull and all of that. But why? And again, it's like the albums that don't have the band on the cover, they're sort of mixed for me. But the albums that have the band on the cover, they're actually really solid classics. This one also only had, again, one music video, The Riff. And The Riff is a fantastic song, don't get me wrong. The thing that sucks about it, though, is the music video makes absolutely no sense to what the song is singing about. The song is literally about Lordi with Death, you know, the Grim Reaper, trying to figure out a riff for a song. And yet in the music video, it's about this, again, over-sexualized girl who goes to a supermarket because she runs out of toilet paper and she has to end up fighting zombies. What? I mean, like, what happened here? What happened? So, anyways, To Beast or Not to Beast is definitely lower in my rankings. It's still a solid album, but the next album is when I feel Lordi started to get a little bit back on track. Oh, good, they blur it. Thank God. I'm gonna get demonetized because of that crap that's going on the screen right now. In fact, I'm gonna change this. We're good. Okay.